All right, so today we're going to continue with lesson 10.2. We're going to talk about powers of property. Okay, so these are the powers of the property that you're going to focus on. Product of powers to properties, so when we're multiplying, when we're adding our exponents. We're going to do power of a power property when we are multiplying. I call this inside-outside, and you'll see why in a minute. And then power of a product property. Okay. So I need you guys to know, where'd that go? Here we go. So now we're going to go ahead and copy this table. You just list these. You don't have to do the table completely, but I'm going to show you how to use repeated multiplication form and power form to solve this, to evaluate these numbers. So you're going to copy down this row, or this column, I should say. So hopefully you guys can keep up as we do this. Okay, so when we say repeated addition, we know that 2 squared is 2 times 2, right? And then 2 to the 4th is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, correct? So if I wrote it as a power, it would be 2 to what power? 2 to the what? 2 to the 6, right? 2 plus 4 is 6, right? Is that right? All right, so let's look at this again. I have negative 3 squared, so I'm going to write negative 3 times negative 3, right? And then how many times am I going to write it again? 4 more times, right? So negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. So it's actually negative 3 to the what power? Again, to the 6th power, right? Because 2 plus 4 is 6. They're the same base, right? So we add our exponents. Right? And that works all the way down. Okay, even with our fractions, we're just going to have 1/2 to the how many power? 5 plus 5 is 10. And that's going to work all the way down, right? That's what we did yesterday, correct? You guys remember that? Okay, so today we're going to do a little something different. Okay. So here I have 3 squared to the 3rd. Okay. What's inside the parentheses? What's the exponent? And what's outside the parentheses? A 3. So what it's telling me is 3 times 3, 3 times. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So that means my base, does it change? Does it change? No, so my base stays the same as 3. What's my exponent going to be? How many 3's? 6, right? So let's look at this. Did I add these or did I do something else? Really? Because 2 plus 3 is 6? What did I do? I multiplied them, right? I subtracted? 2 minus 3 is negative 1, not 6. What did I do again? How did I get 6 up here? I did what? I did what? I can't hear you. I multiplied it. Tell your partner what you did to get this 6 up here. Okay, so let's look at this one here. This tells me 2 squared 4 times. So 2 times 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 2. Right? What else could this be? What's my base? My base is what? 2. What's my exponent? How do we know this? 4 times 2 is what? 8. Pretty simple. Do D, C, and D. All right. So looking at C, what is my base going to be? 7. What is my exponent going to be? Because 6 is 3 times 2, correct? What about this one? What's my base going to be? And what's my exponent? Because 9 is the same as 3 times 3. Now, inside parentheses, outside parentheses. When you have an inside-outside situation, you're going to multiply your exponents. Okay? Yesterday, we added because they were just multiplying, not inside or outside of parentheses. So what is this going to be? X to the what? 8. Pretty simple so far? Okay. We're going to do some more exercises here. Example 1. Multiplying the same base. Okay. So this, again, is exactly like what we just did yesterday, right? Same base, different exponents, so we add them, right? Example 2 is like what we did a moment ago. This is the inside-outside, right? Inside the parentheses is a what? What's inside the parentheses? A 4. What's outside the parentheses? A 3. What's 4 times 3? Okay. Pretty simple, right? Works with a variable as well. Same thing. What's inside the parentheses? What's outside the parentheses? What's 5 times 4? So W to the 20. Very simple so far. Fist of 5, you guys get this, right? You can tell the difference when you're adding your exponents and when you're subtracting your exponents so far, yes? Okay. Okay, here's where it gets a tiny bit tricky. We're going to use everything that we've learned already for inside-outside. So, let's say you have more than one number inside a variable, inside of parentheses. This exponent is going to apply to everything. So it's going to be 2 to the third times x to the third. Mr. Gonzalez, can you take that from him, please? So we can solve 2 to the third, right? What is 2 to the third? What is 2 to the third? 2 times 2 times 2. What is it? Which is? That's 2 plus 2 plus 2. So it's 8. So it becomes 8x to the third. Okay. Got it? That same rule applies when you have inside-outside. Okay. So this is exactly like that. We're going to apply the 2 to everything inside. So let's say, for example, you're going to have x squared to the third. 2x squared to the third. How do I solve that? Does this 3 go to the 2? No? What's the exponent for this 2? It's 1, right? So what is 2 times, or 1 times 3? So it's going to be 2 cubed, right? And what is x squared to the third? It's going to be x to the what? X to the what? 2 times 3. Why 5, Grant? Do I add? Is it an inside-outside situation? So I do what to my exponents? Multiply. I just finished asking a minute ago if you guys got this, and you said, yeah. Yeah. But yet, we don't. So let's do one more. Write that down. How am I going to solve that? So x to the third. Does that 6 apply to that? Do I have to use that 6 with that x cubed? What do I do? What am I going to multiply? 6 and 3, that becomes x to the what? X to the 18th. What about my y? 4 times 6 is? Yes? Yes? How about this one? Here. What am I going to get? Is it inside outside? Yeah. It is? What is? So what am I doing to my exponents? I'm subtracting? I'm going to multiply? Because it's inside outside? I'm going to add my exponents. So this becomes what? 2 to the 5th. Can you see the difference? This is inside outside. Exponents inside my parentheses and one outside. This has, there's parentheses here, right? But is there a parenthesis outside an exponent outside this parentheses? No. No, what's your question? No. All right. Here is numbers 2 through 9. You're going to practice them on your own, please. Go ahead and do 2 through 9 on your. Okay, so for number 1, what am I doing with my exponents? Really? Say it again, Matthew. That's right. It's not inside outside. I don't see parentheses. I don't see inside outside. Okay. So I'm going to add them, which becomes 6 to the what? 6 to the 6th power. Okay. What about number 2? What am I doing to my exponents? Really? Why? Really? This has an exponent inside? So what am I doing? Okay, so my answer is going to be negative 1 over 2 to the what power? To the 9th power. Okay. What about number 3? What is the exponent of this first variable? It's a 1, right? So what is my answer going to be? Z to the what power? 13. Because I'm adding. How about number 4? What am I doing to my exponents? Now I'm going to multiply because now it's inside parentheses, outside parentheses. So this becomes 4 to the what power? What about number 5? So it's going to be y to the what? What about number 6? I'm multiplying. It's going to be negative 4 to the what? What about 7? That's my power to a product rule. So it's going to be 5 to the 4th, right? What's the exponent for this y? It's 1, right? So 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 4. So it's just going to apply. How about this one? A to the what?
5.
B to the what?
5.
Okay? Easy peasy? You guys get it. 3 different ways now. 3 different power product rules. I had you guys take down the notes. Ready? Mr. G's going to pass out your homework.